Well, hello everyone. I thought I would do something different today and give you kind of a devlog of what I'm doing currently. I've been doing a lot of technical demonstrations without commentary, so I'll make it very brief and just give a very, very brief overview of what I've done recently. So, one thing you might notice from the get-go is that the scene looks a little bit different, which is because I've enabled a bit of upsampling by default, which takes a little bit away from the voxel look, I guess, but at the same time, it looks more interesting, at least in my current perspective. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it this way, but at least for now, it's interesting, and I will keep it and play around with it. Also, the shadows got a little bit more voxel accurate, which is probably more fitting to the scene. Apart from that, one thing I've been doing, I've worked a little bit on items and collecting resources. For now, it's limited to these small things, rocks, or about here, like mushrooms you can pick up and they will show up in your inventory. There's not a whole lot you can do with them yet because the entire crafting system is still up and coming. Would be over here. I dislike what this currently is, and I will change it around at some point in the near future. But for now, it serves its purpose, but we will see how that goes on. Yeah, other than that, there is not a whole lot new that will excite you, I guess. I've added more small things to the drier biome here, like some mushrooms, but nothing overly new or exciting there. But we will see where that goes. So that is one thing. I have added a different fog because I kind of disliked the old fog. You can see this is more random. It is actually moving around. We make it a bit darker as well. So this is quite nice because it works well with the dithering. It is dynamic, it moves, stuff like that. I'm still not 100% happy with how it works in height differences, but in the end, I think it looks nice. There's also a weather effect like this, which is a little bit more dusty. Whoop. That is more like a dust effect, which you can see it moves a lot quicker. It might not work as well in darkness, but here you can see it works rather well as it's kind of a dust. Yeah, I mean, that is at least one of the most obvious changes I've done. One thing I've changed in the background, which has quite a big impact on my workflow at least, is how I deal with my resources, my art, my voxels and stuff like that. So what I can show you is this is how I store my voxels now, at least for the territory, for the terrain. Previously, all of these blocks and objects would have been in individual voxel files, which makes maintaining them a lot harder because you would have the palette defined for each one individually, and I would still keep them in a master scene like this, but then I would have to export individual files, and that would make it very hard to deal with. So now I can just simply use these directly. I can enter the file name, and then I can give the individual block name beside that and load them in my resource management, just as I would do with anything else. That is quite useful, and also this allows me to do the same thing, of course, with my models here, which is a lot more maintainable. So that it's very nice. There there's not a whole lot more that I can tell you about that for now. This is just an experiment because I've never ever done any real devlog before. So we will see how you like this format, and if I do any more like these. You can see, since these are still highlighted as harvestable, that is one of the next things to come, actually using tools to harvest more bigger resources and stuff like that. So that is something you will see in the near future. For now, I think that's all I got. Thanks a lot for listening. If you still listen, see you next time. Bye-bye.